Welcome to Snowy Day Special, guys. Not really doing any work on the truck today, but I figure I'd just, we'll kind of do a visual mechanical inspection. I just kind of felt like coming out, like, checking over the engine, suspension, see how things are doing visually, and I figured I'd take you along for the ride, so here we go. I cleaned up my interior a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna go super crazy, but mostly just like wipe down the door panels and my gas cluster. There goes Coach 208 for all you Bus Uniteds on my channel. But there's the interior for you. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of cleaning engines, as you can tell, but here's a closer view of my 12 valve for you guys. I'll try and do a visual for you here. Here's my brake fluid. See if I can open this with one hand. So it's doing pretty good. Just poking around down here, start towers down there. Battery terminals are good and tight. Batteries are pretty much only a year old. They're still cranking over the truck pretty good. Washer fluid's pretty full. I was needing to check my coolant because I've noticed my temperature gauge likes to go up and down, so I'm pretty sure I've got air in the system. From what, I don't know. But we'll take a look. Yeah, it's looking kind of gross. I see a coolant flush in the future. And yep. I don't think my camera's picking it up. I do have coolant, but it's not where I want it to be. And given all this lovely residue, yeah, I'm probably going to work on giving this thing a flush in the next couple of days. Here's the other battery. Just making sure my terminals are tight. Get a look at my exhaust manifold visually, make sure I'm not cracking anywhere.
William! Too close to Daddy's car. No. Mommy, I want to see the accident.
There's all that for you guys, though. See if we can... I'll have my assistant take over the camera for a minute while I crack open the air filter box and see how the air filter looks.
You didn't stop this, did you?
I think so. Nope, still going. So here's my air filter. Definitely going to get changed on the next oil change, but still serviceable for now. I think this is one of those cheap, this feels like it's one of those cheaper aftermarket ones. And you can tell, I guess Dodge had to warn about people about using ether or starting fluids to start these diesels. The one thing I love about any Cummins I've had, and this is my second Cummins, the one thing I love about this engine is the two I've had never had any problems cold starting these trucks. The 473s, on the other hand,
Pain in the ass.
Now this truck, and even my other Cummins, which if you guys remember was my 06 5.9 Mega Cab with the 6-speed, That truck wasn't too bad, but this one, it'll start, but it'll definitely tell you when she's cold. I can usually tell just by how it's idling. It's not like, it doesn't sound crappy. It just has like a different sound to it. So I can usually tell when I need to let it warm up before I take it anywhere. Alright, continuing on with my visual. Oil filter lives over there. Kind of dirty, but it looks okay. No idea when the oil was changed last on this. I'm just kind of doing a quick check.
Is that the dipstick?
That's the dipstick.
He learned this on Blippi, by the way.
Wipe it off. Crack the elbow.
Does it look kind of low?
And you could give her some oil, and it's looking black.
Oil change time.
Power steering is way down there. I'm not even sure if I can reach it.
I don't even know if I can film down there.
I got power steering fluid. I think.
You think? Hey, what do you got? Whoa, stop!
Leave my screwdriver alone or I will take you off the truck.
I got it.
Oh, I can feel that down there. Oh, I feel something down there. I don't feel it though.
Might need to put some more in tomorrow. My power steering feels fine though.
This is
So.
oil.
Might be just your imagination.
All the time. The result.
That's why I normally wear gloves.
This
But
is the
I
result.
didn't think about it. For those that are new to these 12 valves, this over here, you'll have to pay up on it and show them this. This is the fuel pump. So basically, it's like a rotary fuel pump. It's basically geared to the engine. It runs off a gear in the front cover down here.
Cover down here.
But as the engine's turning, it'll turn the pump in here, and the pump mechanically will pulse these injection lines, which delivers fuel to the fuel injectors over here on this side of the block, or where my finger's at. There's no electric fuel pump on these particular trucks, just like the older diesels, like your early 7.3 Power Strokes and the 6.5. I think the 6.2s. I'm not sure about the 6.5s from GM, but the fuel pump itself will actually pull fuel from the fuel tank.
The spark plugs.
So, in a way, it's good. You don't have to worry about a lip pump going out or something like that, but it's just kind of different, you know, it's old school. Yeah, I shouldn't get too far, but here we are underneath the truck, guys, in case you were wondering. Little bit of dunk and grind, but nothing really screaming at me so far that I have a serious problem. But, like I said, I figured I'd just poke around and take you guys along for the ride. Underneath here looks pretty good. Sorry, I got you guys sideways, but I wanted to, I was hoping I'd be able to give my brakes a visual inspection, but I may have to take the tire off for that. I'm not seeing a lot of oil, so I think I can assume that my front wheel seals are okay. From what I can tell, I still got some meat on my rotors. At least they don't look like, at least on the outside lip. So that's good. I'll have to see if I can see my pads, and I'll let you guys know. Welcome back to my video, guys. Today, I'm just going to go ahead and do an oil change on the truck. Change out the oil filter, obviously. Change out the fuel filter. Later today, I'm going to change out my air filter. I just forgot to grab it while I was out this morning. And I need to change out my coolant too. But I just remembered I don't have a bucket for the coolant yet, so that might have to wait too. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started on that. Step one, obviously, is to remove the oil fill cap. This may be a bit vertigo inducing, but we're underneath the truck. There is the oil drain plug. I believe that is a 3/8. You stick like a 3/8 drive ratchet or breaker bar in there to break the plug loose. The oil filter lives over here. I'm going to try and put one of my filter wrenches on the long extension and see if I can kind of thread it up in there, see if I can get a grip on it and turn it. If not, I may have to improvise and look for another method to get it off there. But looking over here, I'm trying to see if I can see the bottom of my fuel filter assembly, but I'm thinking that's going to be pretty well hidden, at least from up here. But we'll mess with that here in a minute. Well, update time. I did get the oil filter off. So I'm going to replace the oil filter, get the oil refilled. I already re-tightened my drain plug. I learned that lesson the hard way. And then next step is to try and tackle the fuel filter. The fuel filter, I don't know why. I don't know if it was a Cummins thing or a Dodge thing, but the fuel filter on these trucks is buried. It's, you see this blue harness, this harness connector. That's your fuel filter down there. There's a 9/16 nut that you need to undo to get basically the canister to drop, and then you have to fish it out of there. The drain cock is a little black lever that sits on the very edge of the bowl, like kind of right underneath all this wiring, and you just move that, I believe, clockwise about a quarter turn, basically whichever way it'll turn, about a quarter turn, and it'll start draining fuel. But then you undo that nut and you pretty much have to fish the whole thing out. So I'm going to attempt that. Well, she's got a new Fleet Guard oil filter. Fresh oil, Shell Rotella T4. Not sure how well you guys can hear me. Fuel filter is kind of buried down there, but she does have a new fuel filter as well. I'd say honestly the fuel filter was probably the toughest part of this whole job, but she does sound better. I still need to change out my coolant, which I'll work on that kind of later today. But I think she does. I think she's happy to have some pressure oil going through her. Alright, real quick update, guys. In the middle of flushing my coolant, I went ahead and just decided to undo my lower rad hose. So, just basically flushing it now, filling this up. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off the water because I don't want that to get so heavy that I can't move it. Take a look at it here. We have to use that. There's another bucket. I'm kind of short on buckets, so I've been using my old Sterilites to do this, but I'll show you the... I'll leave that under there because it's still draining. This is pretty much what came out before I started flushing. Really old, pretty nasty stuff. Not sure what to make of it. I've been told by a couple of shops if you mix coolant, you know, like if you mix the red coolant that's supposed to go in this truck with like green coolant, it'll do that. Just trying to make sure my dogs aren't getting too curious. I don't want them looking this stuff up. But anyway, yeah, I was told that you'll get brown coolant if you mix coolants. My oil has been fine. It was just black. I think if you guys saw that in the last video. So I'm just hoping it's really old, really nasty coolant. As soon as I hear that stop draining, I'll pull that bucket. I'll probably fill up one more. And then hopefully I'll be down to just mostly water to where I can just run the garden hose for a few and finish flushing out the system, because yeah, it's pretty nasty. I'm kind of glad that I decided to do the coolant when I was looking at doing the oil. Haven't done my air filter yet. I left my cargo light on last night, ran errands, and came back and was unloading groceries out of the truck bed and left my cargo light on all night. So now I'm charging up my jump box so I can jump the battery and get this old girl to start up. But I figure when I'm doing all that, I'm gonna work on the coolant. Yeah, making some progress. I got distracted when filling up the second bucket, so it got a little too high, but that's still pretty dirty. This is the third bucket. It's starting to look more like dirty water, but I keep reminding myself, because of the way I'm flushing it, the water's basically running down the side of the engine, you know, over the suspension. So, I mean, it's probably gonna come out dirty. I think I'm gonna do one more bucket, and then I don't know, I'm hoping that I'll have enough juice in my jump box over here to get the truck started, because I do want to run it so I can flush the rest of this nasty crap out of the engine. At least best I can, because yeah, it's pretty gross. So it's day 4 of this little odyssey that I've been on. Go ahead and give you guys an update on how things are going. But we're very nearly done with the truck. At least the stuff I've been trying to get to it for the last couple of days. I'm just going to see if I can possibly snug up that hose clamp. I'm not sure if you guys can see it down there with the little zip tie still attached to it, but I'm wondering if I can slide it a bit more forward and get it to where it used to be, so I don't have to worry about that hose slipping off. And then all I got left to do is I got a spill-free funnel. I'm going to hook it up to the radiator here, see if I can bleed the system, add more coolant, get the coolant right. And I also bought a new radiator cap, because this one's got some gunk on it. I just don't really trust it, so I figured just get a new one. It's like $10, so. And I believe that will wrap up the maintenance I've been doing on the truck for the last few days. Definitely been a fight. I don't know why. It seems like, especially, I feel like my life lately is kind of like a exercise of Murphy's Law. It's like I look at something and I go, that's fairly simple. I should be able to get to it, no problem. And I always run into headaches. The oil change wasn't too bad. The fuel filter was a fight, but it was my first time doing the fuel filter on this particular year of engine for the Cummins. I still say changing the fuel filter out on the common rail is a lot easier. But, you know, like I said, I learned enough that next time I need to do it, I feel like I can do it a little better. The best way I can tell you guys about getting access in and out of there is you can get your hand underneath the master cylinder assembly and kind of get up underneath the fuel bowl to kind of help you navigate. It's still a really tight fit. In fact, next time I have to do it, I might take the oil dipstick loose and see if I can work up a little more room. But yeah, so that was kind of a unexpected technicality there. And then just trying to figure out where and how to drain the radiator, because there is a petcock on this style of radiator. It's down on the driver's side down below, but it's like a real flimsy feeling petcock. And I know there's an O-ring to it. I really didn't want to risk breaking it, so that's why I decided to come over here and just pop the lower radiator hose. I suppose if you took the alternator, off, took the air tube off, maybe even remove the battery and pull the hose from the radiator, you'd probably have more room, but I just really didn't feel like doing that at the time. But anyway, I'm gonna start messing with that clamp, see if I can bleed the system, and call it good. To shoot an outro for you guys, so I'm just gonna end the video out here. I completed the bleeding. Basically, I made a video on bleeding trucks before, But I just basically held the engine at 2,000 RPM with the heater on, fan off, until I basically felt that the temperature got to where the thermostat opened up and I saw the water level drop off, or the coolant level drop off in my spill-free funnel there, which told me that, basically the thermostat opened up and the coolant should have flowed in and filled up the rest of the system. So that is all done, and I'm pretty much all done with my maintenance on the truck. I hope you guys are having a great day, week, weeknight, whatever time it is, wherever you may happen to be. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.